Welcome back, baby. Market Mastery, the 1 hour you need in this market to make money. We are riding on week, I don't even remember anymore, of our SPY Playmaker options. We hit again and again and again and again. If you're not following those options trades, you need to ask yourself some serious life questions. So, going through these, I would say that we are going to talk about a few things. A, how is the SPY shaping up? Where's the market going in these next couple weeks? It is on a tear. People are concerned. Is it melting up? We're going to answer those questions. We are going to look at Tesla. We're going to look at SPY. We're going to look at a few of the names that we always cover. We're going to talk about how Palantir is presenting a new opportunity to trade it again after we just did from $8 to 100 and whatever. Then we will get into some smasher pass where you guys submit your tickers. We take a quick look at the chart and talk about whether or not it makes sense to take that trade in that given moment. So let me get on Twitter really quick to repost this. Again, retweet it, tag Penny Boys. We are still doing giveaways routinely. I would love to give away some stuff to those of you that support us, and this is one way in which you can support us greatly. So let me get this shared out. Now, just give me 1 sec. Boom, got it out. All right. Yeah, this market is a little bit wild. I just posted there. If you'd retweet that, you are a gentleman and a lady, or either or, and I love you dearly. So we have Tesla up on the chart here in the small corner. That's where we're going to start, just because it deserves the first look, because this thing has been in an absolute tear. Congratulations to those trading it. Let's get this a little bit bigger here. Congratulations to my good friends trading this along with me. We absolutely crushed this trade. It was a banger. Let me get that SPY options thing off the screen. Smooth jazz. You're welcome. That was a free show. Free smooth jazz for you. You're welcome. Tesla exploding. So on the monthly, remember, we've talked about this a trillion, billion, quadrillion times. We were buying the shit out of this below $200. We were really buying it right about here in 2020. We were buying it again in 2023, and then we bought a little bit more in 2024, buying all below 150 cost basis. Currently trading at 410, crushing. I think that we need to watch this little channel here. We need to see this stock hold above. Personally, I think it's got to hold right above 383 is the critical. That's just the fib retracement from this last move. If we do that again and we overlay them, it gives you a really clear picture, I think, of what's going on here. 295 to 383. So call that like 330 is the splitting the difference. But regardless, we only care about what have you done for me lately. So looking at this setup as it stands, it played perfectly from the highs to the lows, full retracement with strength over the 0.61 retracement, which is the golden mean, meaning every stock, once it turns over like that, if the company's real and something's happening that makes sense, the stock will always try to climb back to the golden mean. If it climbs back and then breaks above, and then it's often set up for a huge breakout. So we knew Tesla was set up for a huge breakout. The moment it held, I think, the 220s, but most importantly so, when it broke 383 on clear volume, that was a sign to the market that this thing is blowing up. So that said, Tesla's breaking out. We bought it early, and we are just going to ride this to the bank because this trade is going to continue to pay. So that's effectively what we are doing right now. So again, if you're welcome, if you're new to the streams, Market Mastery, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Please hit the chat, just type new so we know who's new. We often give away a bunch of free shit to new people. So if you like free stuff and you're new, I would type in the chat. If you don't want to do that, then don't. Nevertheless, we are still going to cover all the things you need to know and more to make money in this market. Moving on right now from Tesla on over to the SPY. We're going to break down those levels. If you do not have access to SPY Playmaker, these SPY options trades have hit over 83% of the time. That's an extreme underestimation. We just had to pick a number that we were absolutely certain was correct. So the SPY is cooking, and we are trading it and making money day in, day out, week after week. We break down the 15-minute chart. We look at the entries. We decide what are the highest probability targets for the SPY. And then I send you the exact options trade, the exact contract. So it's as simple as, I trust him, I'll buy. That's simple. Or don't. Nevertheless, these hit over 85% of the time, so trust them or don't. Remember, we mapped this SPY breakout perfectly. We expected that 1% move. We got more than that, and that is now sitting as our key level, which is telling me that we are going to start looking at 660 as the new signal of strength. So if SPY is trading over 660, we're in funny money breakout land. If SPY is trading under that, we're in a more normal, not normal, but more normal territory where we can expect our previous ranges to play out. So that said, those of you in SPY Playmaker, the ranges are pretty clear to me. We have two trades that are easy to see, but one of them is huge. I see a huge opportunity. And I'm going to ask you right now, are you guessing that the opportunity is to the upside or the downside? Come on, those have been following this forever. Type up or down in the chat. Do you think that this massive options trade opportunity that I'm going to send to you, do you think it's a bullish or a bearish trade based on what you see here? You know what? Fuck it. Today's your guys' day. All right. Today's your day. In SPY Playmaker or not. Duck, are you in the hospital right now, dude? Because I'm gonna murder you. But also I love it because I was also on a stream in the hospital when my first child was being born. I popped in the garage when you guys were streaming and we were chatting, and Eddie made me leave. We are going to play it either way, my friend. But I like that you guys are seeing it. Fergie gets down. Pookie down. JWag says down. Corgo Joseph says bullish. JWag says I'm going to make money either way. I love that. So, all right, we're just going to do it today. So here it is. If you don't have SPY Playmaker, this is how easy we break it down. I'm going to give it to you, give you a taste for free. So here we are with the chart, right? SPY is holding up. We have a clear trend line dating back to September 3rd. We need to trust and respect that. So we will. Now, if the SPY opens strong and hits off this line, it could shoot up and we could see 665. That would be my target, a $5 move. I'm going to send you that bullish trade that you will know with confidence is a high probability setup if on the 15-minute chart you see the SPY stay above 660 and bounce off this trend line, and then you get a 15 or 30-minute confirmation candle. So here's what that looks like. This would be a confirmation candle. Even this would be a confirmation candle. This is a huge confirmation candle. I'm breaking out in advance. Here's where the confirmation candle will be. If that occurs, that tells us that the probability of the SPY going up just exploded. That potential is super high. So what are we going to do? We're going to bet in that direction. So we're going to take the 665 call 2 weeks out of expiration or a little bit less. At the time we get that confirmation, meaning the candle wicks below, but pops right back up and completes and finishes above that line with a new candle that stays above it, that's confirmation. When you have confirmation, trading is so easy because all you have to do is click buy on the contract and then click sell on the contract. That's how easy we make this, right? I'm giving you the taste for free. So the bullish trade is simple. It's following trend with a confirmation right off of trend, at which point we jump in the calls and we make a killing. Here's the alternative. And I think this is the big money trade. I think this is the trade that has the potential to explode. And that would be the bearish trade that should have came here, but didn't. So the bearish trade is a little easier to see because we'll break 660. And this time you're looking for confirmation on the other side of the coin, meaning the candle goes below the trend line, tries to break back up and gets rejected. And then the candle closes below the trend line. So this would be an example of that. Candle breaks below the trend line, confirms with the other candle that follows it, opening up below that line, tells us, yep, we're bearish, we're sure. And then look what happened. The SPY goes down from 640 to 635, $5 move. These $5 moves on the SPY, guys, are they're easy money. So the bearish trade is even better, okay? We break this trend line, and when we get rejected, when we try to go back up and hit our head on 660, I am going to go for the 655 puts. Again, slightly less than 2 weeks will give us the biggest capture of potential profit. Adding more time to the option lowers the risk, but it decreases the amount of potential profit. So I think that if the bears take over and we go down and test 665 or 655, excuse me, I think there's a chance to go all the way down to 651. So that's why the bearish trade can pay potentially a lot more, because we can be on the right side of the trade, hit our target, and then it can keep going, which means we can continue to hold it for profit or sell it. So the puts are going to pay in this example, but both trade setups have a very clearly defined pattern that needs to happen. The bullish trade needs confirmation upside. Bearish trade needs confirmation downside. When the market gives you an easy trend line like this and levels, trading is so easy because you already have the exact instrument you're going to trade ready to go on your phone, so that if you see on the chart the confirmation, you just click buy, and it's that easy. Now, if you're not following our TradingView account, do that, because we publish this chart so you can follow my exact levels that I put on the chart the same way I'm following them. If you subscribe to Spy Playmaker, I'm going to put the QR code up on the thing. You get this sent to you directly. So if you want these sent directly to your email every week ahead of time, so you're prepared, hit the QR code top right of the screen, scan it or screenshot this and go back to it later. Either way, I am here to make you money. So quick tally before we move on. Who here is trading SPY and SPY Playmaker and making money? I'd love to know in the chat. Who is already trading this strategy with us and making money? Anyone? I know JWAG, you be trading it, you be making that money. Who else? The doctor be trading it. I already know that. Pookie's traded it. I know that. Say LeBron, I know you traded occasionally. Coles be trading it. Hell yeah. Tammy, you're not allowed to trade it, so you better not be trading it. Just make the note. Tammy doesn't get to trade it, guys. Please lock that in. She can't trade it. Not allowed. So please remove her, Pookie. I'm mad at you, Tammy. So I'm gonna throw a tantrum. Take away SPY Playmaker. I'm just kidding. I love you. But yeah, guys, we were doing the win rate. It's like I don't even want to say it out loud. I'm not going to say it out loud, but it's a lot higher than the number I put up there. So it's like, be smart or don't. So that's a SPY. Again, a lot of you are new. I just wanted you to experience what is it? What do I get? That's what you get. We do everything. So, all right, Ron, my guy, Porter, boom, you got one right there, Ron DeBurrow. That's my guy. Absolutely. Please reach out. Free money. I want all of you guys getting a taste of this. Free money. We have the levels mapped out. All we have to do is literally hit the buy or sell. That's the goal. Make it that simple. And while we break down the levels, you guys start to understand, oh shit, this is what he's looking for. That makes sense. And then you could see it in your own trading without me even being there. And before you know it, you're completely self-sufficient. So I really think that, this is one of the best things that anyone could learn. This completely changed everything for me because I had been haphazardly running around, trying my best to figure out what strategy makes sense, and I never quite got it. And so I would do so many different things that I could never focus on one thing. And because I could never focus on one thing, I was never able to really find any sort of consistency. That's what this was for me. So if you find yourself in that position where it's like, I get it, and I know I need to do it, but I'm just getting stuck at repeating the like finding something that I can just repeat and make money from nowhere. That's why I love this. To me, this is my ATM in my living room. This SPY Playmaker. You pop in, quick trade, cash out $400. Pop in, quick trade, cash out $200. Pop in, quick trade, cash out $1,000. There's nothing better than this. Reproducible patterns are the only way to be long-term successful, in my opinion, in any sort of active investing in anything, whether it's real estate, stock market, all of it. Disciplined and reproducible that's the formula of success. So now you got the SPY trades. Again, for SPY Playmaker, this code is in the top right. I'm gonna leave it up for 3 minutes and I'm gonna take it down. I send you the exact contracts. I show you the chart. I tell you exactly what I'm looking at and exactly what I intend to do. So I'm basically mapping out the trades ahead of time, and they go directly to your inbox, or you sign up for our premium membership, which means you get all of our live trading sessions. You get everything, options trading, day trading, the whole deal, and a coach specifically dedicated to you. You'll get these included in that. So either or, one is not expensive at all. The other one's a little more expensive. So for what it's worth, again, you got Porter. Just remind me, let's take this down 2 minutes. We'll leave this on the screen. Scan it while you can. Get in SPY Playmaker while it's hot. Otherwise, we're going to take it away and you will not have it. So that's that. Let's take a look at Palantir because we think that there is a trade opportunity brewing, and we are going to break it down and look at it and for bare bones and talk about whether or not it actually makes sense. Okay. There we go. So if you guys recall, we called out the position trade at 145. That trade hit for, we'll just do it from 150, I guess. That trade hit for 30%. if you took that trade and maximized. If you're still holding from that trade, you're up 18%. So congratulations. If you're holding from the original alert, you are up 2,341%. Congratulations. My overall percentage up, let's go look. Let me quote you the exact number. Shit, I suck at Weeble now. Where's my, okay, account? Okay. All right, this month we outperformed the Dow by 8%. We outperformed the S&P by 7.15, and the NASDAQ, we outperformed by about 5%. Fantastic. Okay. Palantir. I am currently, my cumulative P&L is 43,500 and, but sorry, I'm trying to look up Palantir P&L. What the fuck? Sorry, dude, I'm struggling with this. Wow, Weeble's not very intuitive, dude. This platform sucks. It's good for trading, but okay. I can get to the chart part. Then I can just tell you because I got a little box. 2,160%. Here's a lot of the holdings. If you click that link in there, that's the screenshot. Yeah, we're up 2,161% on the on Palantir overall. But so to get into it, what we're seeing here right now is that this is building structure and strength, and it's consolidated at 150 and basically told the market like, hey, we're good to go. Let's go again. So if this breaks out over 171 with confirmation, meaning again the candle opens, breaks through, closes, and then the next one opens above that line, I think there's a huge opportunity for another 10 to 15% move to test 190. And then from there, this is pretty straightforward where this is going to go. You got 220 pretty much next. In my opinion, my long-term target here is about 310 overall over the next couple of years, possibly a decade, but either way, worth it. So I am actually loving this trend line for Palantir here. If we come down to trend, that would be a secondary entry to buy more on the trend of consolidation. If this trend is lost, this trade idea is dead. So for anyone considering this as a trade idea, keep in mind, as long as we break out over 170 and hold, we should be good. We remain bullish in the short and medium term above 161. So keep that in mind if you decide to take this trade. Jay Wag, my man. Yeah, those options paid. So how much was that total? Like how many dollars did you make off of that? 846%. I would assume that was probably like those contracts that were like 100, 150 bucks. So that means you turned $100 into 1,000 pretty much by just sitting on your ass, doing a little research, clicking a few buttons. Okay. 525. So beautiful. I love it, man. It paid for my house. See, that's the ticket, guys. My anniversary with my wife, right? It was very fun because I went into it with a budget, we were doing some shopping. And so I just handed her the money. And I said, hey, just crushed it, right? So that SLNH and EQS, those two trades, EQS paid for my anniversary. Paid for the hotel, paid for the dinner, paid for her to go shopping, me to go shopping. That's what this stuff should do. It took me 15 minutes in total to make $5,000 from that EQS and the SLNH trade. That's it. That was maybe 15, 20 minutes of my time total, paid for a weekend. We went to the Four Seasons, a luxury weekend. And neither of those trades required more than $1,000 to $2,000 per trade. So for reference point, if you have 10 grand in your account, you could have done those trades 10 times over. And I turned $2,000 into 5. So you could have turned 10 grand into 20. So now you're seeing here. So looking forward on this, again, just to recap it, above 161 is bullish medium term. I think you can call it medium term safely, because that means that we're going to continue to consolidate right around this area. Short term bullish above 172, about 172. We need to trade higher than we have the last 2 days. Then I think we have opportunity to buy this again and take a 10 to 15% move to the upside. So basically, if I park my money here, I think it's going to make more than most other places with the least amount of risk if that setup is intact. I broke down the setup, so now all you need to do is, again, follow the Penny Boys account on TradingView, and we publish these charts, so you can just look at ours, or you can mark these levels on your chart and follow that. Totally up to you. But again, my goal is to make it easy. You have a job, or kids, or a marriage, or friends. This shouldn't take up your whole life. You should be here because you want to be here, and it should make sense financially for you to do it, meaning you are on the path to making money right now. Even if you're not making money right now, if you're on this stream, I would argue you're on a much quicker path to making money than the person who's not, because we're covering everything. All right. Last chance, SPY Playmaker going off the screen. If you want to get those options trades for this week, you need to scan that now. If you want, take a screenshot of the stream. You can go back to it later. Closing it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye-bye. Let's get into a little bit of smash or pass. Drop your tickets in the chat right now. Well, I must be in a good mood. Getting a little scabadoo. That's how I know I'm in a good mood. I'm doing a little scabadoo. Just leave you guys for my scat career. Tammy, you've had some winners. Black Sky Technology. That sounds terrible and ominous. Sounds like somebody's getting killed here. This is like the company that carries out the Epsteins. When they try to Epstein someone, I feel like this is the company they hired to do it. Black Sky Technology. Ooh, look at that. So here's how you know that this level is locked in. Not only was it the critical breakout level before this thing doubled, right? Because I love this personally. When this, oops, wrong one. When this and this, when there is some scale of proportion to these, like basically when this line is the middle, that is when the setup is crisp, because that is just the function. It's the fulcrum. It's the pivot point, right? Where the stock has said, hey, we've fought this line and we've held it and we're not moving. So again, it was like a high probability here. They failed. Breakout. This is strong. blows up, but then comes right back down to 15. This is when we buy, is 15 to 18. This is a good call, Tammy. Good find. We kind of missed the boat on this one. So I'd say if you get the opportunity to buy at 1850 for the trade to 21 and above, that can make sense. But I don't know what it is that they do specifically. And again, drop your tickers in the chat. I've seen people talking about this one too, and I see a few of you talking about it. So let's talk about grab bag. The hell do they do? This is a hell of a setup. That would have been a banger to trade, dude. That inverted head and shoulders. Look at that. Kaboom, kaboom. Chapow. These setups, when they set up, they're gold. We would have crushed this if I had been looking at this trade. This is a prime time me setup. We would have bought right here at 495. I'm telling you, we would have crushed this. But we missed it. So it is what it is. Let's look at where it can go. Yep, heading to 7. Not enough for me personally, unless it retests 575. Then I would buy it and I would ride it. But if you're already in it, you crushed it. Oh, nice. They're already in it. So again, if you're in the Discord, you would already had this trade. So really should makes a boy think. Really makes a boy think. When did you get into grab, Duck? When did you get into this one? I'm going to go over to my man Cools here for some cake. Some of that cake. The Cheesecake Factory, no shit. Dude, I finally figured out what the grift is with all the treasury shit. It's actually really smart. Like for some reason, when companies like we'll have clients, right? They have like 80 million in cash, but they're trading at like a $20 million market cap. They have 80 million in cash, but the market isn't rectifying those names. But the second they go, hey, instead of cash, we're going to do crypto, everybody goes apeshit because it's a way for corporations to buy crypto without buying crypto. So does everyone see what's going on here? And Duck, what was the entry on grab? I don't see you posting that. This is like I don't like and I wouldn't touch personally. I just think it's garbage. And I don't understand how this business is even still here, let alone successful enough to make money. Yeah, this could easily. You got a nice channel here where maybe buy this at 48. Maybe. Let's look at the monthly. No, triple top, baby, just getting washed out. Look at that. This stock has no strength. From 28, it does. So, like, this is a hell of a buy at 28, but it does not have strength to go further from here, in my opinion. Best you're going to do is buy at 46, 47 and ride it out. I think that trend line holds. You could just ride it out, but you always want to go back to understand the truth. Where did they get washed out? You want to find the place in which the story changed, right? Over long periods of time. So, bullish, long term, right? This is years of time. What happened here? Let's see what you're learning. What happened here? I'll wait in the comments. What happened here? I don't know if you guys are posting comments. I'm not seeing comments. Trend is your friend. There, I just got one came up. So, violation of trend, right? So that means the story changed. All any of these are, right, are vehicles to park your money in while you wait. So let's just make sure we're clear on that point. All this is making a decision to park our money in A or B while we wait. If you agree and understand that principle, type a 0 in the chat. If you do not understand what I'm talking about, type a 1 in the chat. So if you agree with what I just said, type a 0. If you disagree, type a 1. Ooh, we should start doing a bullshit chart of the week, Porter. That'd be fun. Like just a chart that everyone's talking about that's terrible. No, Grab. You bought Grab. You posted it in your channel. It's one of your narrative trades. I'm just asking, what was the entry? Oh, you posted this morning. I get what you're saying now. Dayweg, I'm glad. Thank you. So, again, all we're doing is reading a story and trying to have a good understanding of what the story's telling us. So, right here, the story's telling us, hey, this is a great place for your money to be. Everyone's having fun, making money, and then all of a sudden it became a bad place to put your money. If you put money in here at 24 and you got scared in 08, right? Market crashes and you pull your money out, you get a third of your money back. Then all these rich guys that were buying here buy more here. And then when it gets here, they sell it to you. And then it goes down to 25 and you get scared, you shit your pants, you sell again. They go, thank God. They buy their shares back. And now they run it up to 65. And then guess what? They trick you into buying their shares. Then what happens? Down to 14 again from 64, meaning this time they only gave you back about 15, 20% of your money, even less. And now here's the best part. Then they trick you into buying again at the exact same place. But of course, and then they shake you out and you sell them back to them at 27. And they say, thank you. And now they own more of the company. You basically paid for everything. And they're going to sell again to the next round of investors at 64. And this will sell off and tank again. And we'll play the same thing, play the same game over. It's a merry-go-round. You always end up in the exact same place, regardless of what you do on the merry-go-round, because it's spinning. This is how you get caught spinning your wheels. Don't do that. Now, if you want to approach this as I'm going to trade with the smart money and I'm going to go short every time we hit 65, I'll support that. Smart decision. But for now, I think the opportunity was spot with pretty much everywhere else is I like more than cake goals. I really do. Is too. If it were trading like $4 or $5 as a meme, I'd say hell yeah, but it's not. Qualcomm. All right, let's do that for the doctor. Wow, trading views taking quite a while. Ooh. We did put an alert out on this. I want to say in the 50s or the 60s. Let me look really quick. I think it's in my retirement portfolio. Oh, the rest from retire. So we got Qualcomm at 105 in May of last year. May of 23, excuse me. Wow, 2 years. We also got Meta at 100 there. That's now at 600. Wow. Yeah. Just because I'm a big believer in proof, I'll share that screenshot here for anybody. There's the proof of the call out at 105. It's currently at 161. This one is going to be a pretty simple. Like this is a rock solid business. So I'll just tell you, like this is one where I definitely support trend as your friend unequivocally. And actually, I think you could even look at this. Like this to me is like right here is this trend line is it. So this trend line must hold. As long as it holds, I like this, but it is pretty steep. Keep in mind, this had a long time to consolidate. It needs some time to consolidate now. This is a great long. I'm holding it from 100. I'm not letting it go anytime soon, but I'm also not buying more at the moment because I don't think the growth potential's there. I just like the exposure, and I think it's a solid company to park and beat the SPY pretty much independently. So, because that's all we're doing, right? Either say, hey, I'm going to pick a variety of stocks that I assume collectively will all beat the S&P. Meaning you have one that does 30%, one that does negative 2%, right? So that's 29% if you had the same amount of money in both. You beat the SPY by a lot, by 3. So you'd be a champion at that rate. So the whole point here is we have all collectively decided that we think we can win, we can beat generalized market advice by taking slightly riskier bets on names with bigger upside. And obviously it's been working for 7 years. So what we're doing can be done up to about 10 million bucks. Like if I was trading 10 million bucks, I wouldn't be able to share everything with anyone anymore. I don't ever plan to do that, FYI. I'll never trade with that amount so that we can always do this. Just throwing that out there. But you guys get the point. Hopefully. We got a great thing cooking here. ITRG. So it's like, I hope that gave you the clarity. I loved it as the buy 100, 120, but like I'm not buying more now. I'm just holding and waiting because I don't think there's much that's going to occur right now. It's really catalyst driven are going to be exciting. This one's interesting. What do they do? Integra Resource. I have no. Is it mining? They have a PE of 51, so they're pretty overvalued here. The forward P though is 9. I don't really understand how they have that difference. Oh, this is the Delmar project. So, yeah, Tammy, I'm gonna pass on this one. I've met a lot of the guys in the mining industry, and I don't know, man. I don't trust many. You know the few we have. Gold Royalty, like some of the smarter plays on gold, I like. The other pure miners, like they just scare the shit out of me because for all we know, like here's an example, right? Of this has happened. Publicly traded company that was a piece of land that might have resources, but they had a publicly traded company around it, a shell. And that same shell basically went public, diluted the shit out of the stock, walked away with tens of millions, and they did that 3 or 4 times. They would just sell the piece of land to a new entity and then do the same scam again. I've heard the name of this Delmar thing associated with those guys. So that's why I'm saying I'm not touching it, because if there's even a chance that those guys are affiliated with this, I don't want anything to do with it because of the way they conduct business, if you will. So that's a hard pass for me. Even though the chart's interesting, it's just a hard pass because of those reasons. JD, good one. Boom. I like that. So show of numbers in the chat, baby. If you have been banking on these Chinese names with us, type 0. If you have not, and you would like to get these stock picks sent to you, type 1. Again, if you're already getting these picks and you're banking on these Chinese names with us, type 0. If you want these trades sent to you, type 1. And I'm loving the structure here. JD is looking crisp. Look at that. Bada boom. $30. And look at that distribution. That's all upside, baby. All upside. 0. We got JWAG. Who else? Again, type 0 if you're already banking on these. Type 1 if you want these trades. Let's look at this next to Baba. Actually, let's just look at it next to KWeb, which we did talk to Crane shares. I'm hyped. I would be so pissed if I have to sell if I have to sell KWeb. If we get hired by them to do their press releases and stuff, I'll have to sell my KWeb. That would fucking suck. It's too complicated if you're working with them to own it. So let me ask you guys this. What do you see here? Wait, are we on the same time frames? What do you see here, guys? What's going on? These two charts. What do you see? Let's stick it out. One of these is not like the other. What do you see here? What do you see here? What do you see here? What is the difference between these two charts? Come on, guys. You know this. What is the difference? What are you seeing here? What are we seeing on one that we're not seeing on the other? KWeb, this tracks the general Chinese internet companies in an ETF. JD is one of those Chinese internet companies on its own. Really, nobody? Guys, come on here. Or am I just not seeing the comments? Come on. What do you see in one that you don't see in the other? You guys got this. Come on. Come on, come on. Okay, left looks like Head and Shoulders. I don't know if it's really what Kermit says. That's an intense name. But okay, so I'll just say it. So do you notice these are both the monthly chart here? Yeah, volume you could say, but more importantly, what do you see happening here that we don't really see happening here? Like we could argue it's a little curl and that the move was a little premeditated, but I would say that this move is a lot more consistent and a lot stronger and a lot more indicative of a continuation forward. This move looks like a maybe wrapped up in a maybe kind of sorta, which isn't good. So the question is, why is this one lagging? Because if you look at it, they both hit a base, right? 29, and this went to 33. This hit a base of 31, and it went to 40. Why did this move 10%, but this moved 30%? Now, obviously, there are other names in there that are carrying the average up, but this is kind of a good example of sometimes the ETF does make more sense unless you're really dialed into that specific market. So suffice to say, rather than buying JD right now, I'm buying K. I had been buying KWeb. Another Chinese name I've been holding that is, I think I might be red on. I can't remember. God, this is slow. This one looks crisp. Billy. Look at that. I think it'll go to at least 42, 44, close the gap to 66. That's a huge upside, potentially. Volume's tapering, which isn't terrible, but I don't like how deeply it's tapering off. This is going from trading 60 million, or from trading, excuse me, down like 100 million down to 60. No good. So that said, this is one I do like more. Why? Because I think KWeb, maybe we hit 50, if we're lucky, 60. That's from 40. That's a 50% upside. Here, I'm saying I think over 30, we could go to 60. That's double your money, not a 50%. So again, if the risk matches up, it makes sense to grab this one versus the ETF. So type of 0, if that makes sense. Type of 1, if I need to explain it in a different way. That sometimes buying the independent stocks can make more sense. Here's kind of what that looks like. And here's the thought process I go into before I make the decision. That's what I was hoping to communicate to you clearly. So type of 0 if you understood that, type of 1 if you did not. So that way I can explain it better or differently. NIO has been. Is anybody watching from Twitter? And if you are, would you mind trying to make a comment to see if it shows up? If you're watching from Twitter. Can someone do me a favor and try to comment? See how all these Chinese names have the same pattern? So just looking up which ones have the best upside. And if you didn't hit the thumbs up on YouTube, hit it. We appreciate the support. It's what tells us that we're doing a good job. So if you felt like we brought some value here and it was beneficial, please hit us with a thumbs up and subscribe. We're always live trading and doing stuff like that. Yeah, it's working. Shit. Okay. It just must be bots on Twitter because there's no way there's a couple hundred people and not a single one is commenting. So clearly there's a bot problem. NIO looks like garbage. Again, KWeb stacks up against most of these names, and that's the main thing is like if it's easier to just buy the one and take a little bit of a haircut, that's the move because the stress is minimal. Yeah, I saw it, Duck. Thank you. Now, this is what I'm talking about here. So do you see, look at Baba. Again, same structure, right? Same structure as these other ones. Actually, a little different. This has got a little more age, very similar to. So now see how these are matching. So you can tell that Baba's obviously carrying this ETF. So you don't want to be double exposed either. But yeah, this is the Baba setup is great. Again, remember we were buying this down at 115, 120. I'm still holding. Very strong monthly candle. I expect to see a third one here that should put us at about 192, close to 200. Those options are currently up like 300, 400%. I expect those to continue. That's why I'm still holding them for 2027. If you want those options trades sent directly to you, please, please, please join the Discord and get the trades. That is the only way to get them. Every Friday, we sit on a live stream and we map out our week, the trades we're looking at, the stocks we're buying. We usually come out of the stream with 2 or 3 trades, including a lotto. Make sure you get access for that stream. But yes, we got time for 1 or 2 more. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, we could do a quick Carvana. What the fuck? Come on. This is one of those ones, dude, that I'm just so pissed that I didn't take my own trade. Just kills me. I didn't even buy like a $200 lotto. Like I didn't do all the things I usually do. For some reason with Carvana, I just didn't do anything. So for reference, guys, we were on a live stream talking about how if this broke out over 21, well, first it was this breaks out over $9, it could keep going. So we labeled it a buy at $9. Then we talked about a breakout over 21, it could keep going. It went to 300, a literal 30x. I'm so disappointed in myself. This is one of the biggest misses, FOMO. Sucks, dude. That sucks. Because I was right, too. So it makes it worse as I planned and prepped for it and even shared it. Ooh, Oscar looks interesting here. Just remember that IPO shelf. Whenever you hit 30, well, these guys are selling because this is where they got out. And clearly right here, this is the buyer's getting washed out. That looks like a bad actor. So either someone you didn't want in the deal is now gone or someone's going to screw you. And we'll wrap it up with this one. I have no idea what this one is, or we'll do Fergie's last PL will be our final one. So it's a pass on Oscar Health. Ooh, I have no idea what this is, but Tammy, you find some. Where are you finding these? Like, what are you using? Send me a DM. I want to know what you're doing to. What are you looking at to find these? If it's fundamentally driven, technically driven, what? You get good trend support, but it's too high to buy at this moment. But I think that you get a strong move there if you're holding on to that one. It's like a PL. Never heard of that before. Extreme Networks Inc. Platinum Futures. Oh, wow. Ooh, why on earth? Dronzy, that's a great question. So Nikki can help. Nikki can help you with all of that. So she'd be like your personal helper to get you all set up in the Discord, get you set up all the education, basically connect you to all the things you need to be connected to in order to take advantage of it and help you get your account set up. So you can just go to, I'll put a link. I would say if you're new, even before Spy Playmaker and the options stuff, I would personally check out the coaching program. You can also take advantage of the free trial to like get a taste of a full premium membership. The only thing I say to you if you're new is talk to Nikki to ensure that you get set up ahead of time because it's only a 5-day trial. So I want you to take advantage. Personally, I think going into the cheaper coaching option makes more sense if you're new. So, let me connect you to this actually. So I'm going to send you the link to the free trial. And then once you get in there and you get into the Discord, that's where everything is hosted. Just go into the support chat and just, Nikki will help get you set up, and I'll let her know to look out for you if your name is similar on Discord. Planet Labs. Okay. Sorry. But Platinum Futures, that is really interesting. I've never done futures, but that's like the range trader's dream, probably. Wow. So look, anytime it tests the IPO price and the highs, I'm always a fan of cut and loose a little bit, because you have the early buyers that are going to get in there and wash you out because they want out. They've waited all this time, 4 or 5 years, and their money's basically worth what they started at. So they're like, I'm just going to get out of this while I can. So I always like to be careful with those. And those are ones I always take profit on quickly because of that. I want to avoid that event. So yes, Stronzi, please get a hold of Nikki. There's another member for you, lifetime member, Master, Fergie. I'll tell you, Nikki's who you need. She'll get you all set up, help you understand everything you're getting so that you really you get a coach with weekly sessions where you're breaking down the strategy, and then you're taking specific trades that the coach is trading with you alongside you, right? You're looking over his shoulder. He's showing you how this strategy and these trades are all tied together, and here's how you execute it consistently to make money. So you literally have a personalized support network of both the coaches and the community. What makes us different is the community by and large. That is the value here, is that there's a bunch of people that will give a shit about your success, even though they don't have a vested interest in it, because we have just the group of the best people in the entire fucking world. So if you're looking for a place to belong and learn a skill that will make you money forever, we have everything you need. So come on down. I'll see you guys Friday. I'm loving that stream. I love getting the whole team in there. I love that we're leaving there with trade ideas, like actionable money-making opportunities. And I just love kicking it with y'all. So I love y'all. Stay blessed now. Ta-ta.